Hi, it's French Friday, number 20 from Brussels, Belgium, and I am having a blast. Actually, I just got here, but the fact of the matter is that the beer is dirt cheap. It's like $4.50 for a pint. So I'm just sitting here writing a couple of postcards and enjoying myself. So today for French Friday number 20, I'm going to do the best job that I can to do it quick and in one shot because I'm using YouTube's new app, Capture. I don't know how new the app is, but it's new to me. And I don't think I'm going to be able to edit it at all. And I'm hoping for some good photo bombs in the process. There are already people staring at me as they walk by, which is always the case when I do these outdoors. I don't know why I keep doing them outdoors. I'm going to be shunned like a leper. Let's move on. Today I wanted to talk about the French and Belgians because they don't really get along so well. In fact, the French don't get along very well with anybody in Europe. There's a lot of history behind that, and we can't get into all of it. It goes all the way back to the fact that they have kind of the most desired territory in all of Europe, and it's been some of the most contested territory in all of Europe for, all the way back to Julius Caesar and beyond. So we won't get into that, but what we will talk about is how the two don't really get along on a day-to-day basis, and I think I'll be able to tie it in for you pretty well if you're an American, with a little example that you may not be aware of. Let's get started. The fact of the matter is that the French really don't view the Belgians terribly negatively, and that's a fact. The Belgians don't believe me on that necessarily, but it's true. When the French make fun of you, which they do, make fun of Belgians a lot, they're doing it as good-naturedly as the French can do it. As an example, when they say Le Roi des Belges, which means the king of the Belgians, that means the king of the idiots, which it does sound pretty harsh, but it is kind of funny if you're not Belgian. If you are Belgian, I'm sorry. However, French people, you should realize that because you're larger and therefore a little bit more threatening, and because you're French, you're perceived a little bit differently, and because you're French. I think the French part really kind of plays into it, sorry, to be fair. But the Belgians do see you as arrogant and haughty and full of yourselves, which a lot of the world sees you as. But oddly enough, the world sees Americans as that too. And here's the cultural tie-in. Countries that are kind of the central cultural power of a region or in the world tend to draw a lot of negative attention to themselves. In the same way, the United States draws a lot of attention to itself negatively in the same way. And our relationship to Canada is very similar. As an American, we often make fun of Canadians in a really good-natured way. We see Canadians as like our little brother. And we don't mean that in a derogatory way whatsoever. I have lots of Canadian friends. They all hate me a little bit. And that's kind of natural because they see it as kind of a threatening, hostile thing, the way that we view Canada. Unfortunately, which is not true. When you have something like South Park who has the song Blame Canada, that's not intended in a way that like we actually blame Canada or we actually hate Canada. I'm going to switch hands here because this is getting tiring. The fact of the matter is that we like Canada a lot, and to be honest, as Americans, we don't have a lot to complain about Canada. We just kind of poke fun at you because, it's cold and you say "a" and you're really, really friendly, which there's nothing actually to hold against you in that. So don't take it too personally. However, Canadians really do actually look at us in a negative light for a number of reasons, in similar ways that the Belgians look at the French in a negative light, that we're arrogant, haughty, ignorant, we don't know anything that's going on, and they don't really like us for a lot of those reasons. Now, Canadians are really friendly and really nice and genuinely cool people, so odds are you're not going to hear that from them directly unless you get them to talk, and sometimes that means taking them to Brussels and getting them to drink cheap beer. But aside from that, if you just have an honest relationship and a good conversation with them, you're going to find out that the Canadians, from time to time, don't really see us in a favorable light. And by from time to time, I mean frequently. Sorry. Even my friends. Yeah. Now, the fact of the matter is, as well, I'm saying the fact of the matter too much, but the fact of the matter is, as well, that that's not necessarily always fair. A lot of that does come from stereotypes. And one-on-one relationships, when you get down to it, most Canadians, their American friends, they like a lot, just like we love them. So, but I don't know if that's really true between the Belgians and the French, because I don't actually know a lot of Belgian-French relationships. Those are pretty isolated from each other, and maybe that's a good sign that unlike Canada and America, who really do love each other deep down, the French and the Belgians just are never going to get along. I hope that's not true. I don't think that's really true at all. But to their credit, the Belgians did invent French fries, and the French took the credit from them, so maybe that's where the hostility really comes from. Don't steal credit from other countries. They don't like it. Anyways, that's enough for today for French Friday. This is the last French Friday number 20. I'm done with these. I'm going to be moving to the Congo soon, so if you want French cultural stuff, you can still always ask me, but I don't know that I'm going to be able to give it to you. So please do like this video, subscribe to my channel, tune in every Monday because that's about all I'm going to be doing for a while, and maybe, just maybe, I'll be doing something else in the near future on Fridays. If not, Mondays are it. So check out my blog, subscribe to this, like it, and cheers. I don't know if I should drink alcohol on camera. That's really probably a faux pas, but it's delicious. It is really good.